Good evening, Bruchim Habayim, and welcome everyone. I'm Moran Atias, your host for this evening's broadcast. Under normal circumstances, we would have gathered in Jerusalem to celebrate Keren Hayesod's remarkable 100th anniversary, but thanks to technology, there's been a change in plans. Join me from the comfort of your home as we take our celebration to a very special place. Come with me. To officially start our celebratory event, let's hear from Keren Hayesod's Chairman, World Board of Trustees, Stephen Lowy, AM.
Good evening, everyone. I really want to thank Moran Atias for being our host for this evening's very special event. I particularly want to thank all of our supporters from around the world for joining us. I really wish we could be together in Jerusalem, of course, but unfortunately, due to the global crisis we're in, we're not able to do this in person. I'm tuning in from Sydney, Australia, and it's heartwarming to see so many viewers from around the globe. The Keren Hayesod world is huge. It spans some 60 campaigns in 45 countries, speaking 9 languages across 22 time zones. For over 100 years, Keren Hayesod has made a huge impact in Israel. At its core mission, it's always been to serve the people of Israel as its number one priority. For Keren Hayesod, there is no greater mission than to ensure that those living in Israel's periphery receive the support they need. This gives them the ability to become fully integrated into Israeli society. For over 100 years, Keren Hayesod has had the privilege of furthering the national priorities of the State of Israel in partnership with the Jewish Agency for Israel. This has only been possible because of the support of all of you. Without you, we would not be able to assist weaker communities in distress, or disadvantaged youth, or the elderly in need. Without you, we would not be able to conduct Aliyah or rescue operations. And without you, we would not be able to deepen the connection between Jews in the diaspora, to Jewish life, and to Israel. As we look to the future, to the next 100 years, we hope that you will continue to join us on this mission. This mission is to continue to raise funds for the well-being of the people of Israel. I want to thank you for your dedication and your support and for joining us on this very special event. Over the next 45 minutes, you will have the opportunity to see Keren Hayesod's direct impact on Israeli society for 100 years. I really look forward to the day when we can meet in Jerusalem. Until then, thank you and enjoy this event.
Thank you, Mr. Lowy, for joining us all the way from Australia, and thank you for your opening remarks. From all the places in the world, this is the most special place for me. Joining us at the Kotel is Sam Grandberg, World Chairman of Keren Hayesod. New reality in the world, a new reality for us. Last time we met was in Hollywood. You're Consul General of Israel in Los Angeles. And today we're here in front of the Kotel, and you're celebrating a year and a half as the World Chairman of Keren Hayesod. And we're both Olim Chadashim.
We are both Olim Chadashim. Moran, it's so exciting to be here with you and to bring you into the Keren Hayesod family, especially at this exciting time when we mark the landmark 100 years of Keren Hayesod.
Who are behind Keren Hayesod?
So the Keren Hayesod supporters are really the backbone of Keren Hayesod. For 100 years, Keren Hayesod, and we work in over 45 countries and over 60 communities or campaigns. And these are dedicated communities who love Israel, love the people of Israel, and are incredibly dedicated to supporting Israeli society and making Israeli society stronger, And together with our strategic partner, the Jewish Agency for Israel, with the amazing projects that we do, whether it's with Aliyah, and you mentioned Aliyah, that I made Aliyah 30 years ago. You're making Aliyah now. So it's Aliyah and integration, strengthening social welfare, and of course the connection between the Jewish communities around the world and Israel.
We're obviously celebrating it in a different way this year because we can't gather all of our supporters and families from around the world. But I have to say that what I've seen with my own eyes, how impactful their donation is in the lives of these people that are coming for the support of Israel, Zionists, and elderly Holocaust survivors. I really thank you for this opportunity, and I'm really happy to be part of the family.
Thank you, Moran. We're all excited that you're with us, especially for this celebration. And like you said, we had all hoped a couple of months ago to be here together physically in Jerusalem to celebrate. But we're still very excited that we have, through technology, we're able to have our communities from around the world, at least virtually, be with us, be with you and with me and with Stephen Lowy and others to mark this occasion and to mark this celebration.
To 100 more years to come.
Amen.
Amen. L'chaim, Sam.
Aye.
From spiritual to virtual. 100 years ago, a group of people sat in a hall in London and dreamt of a different future for the Jewish people. Over the past 100 years, Keren Hayesod has worked to build a strong and flourishing state of Israel, built upon the foundation of mutual responsibility and a love for the Jewish homeland. Join me as we take a look at how Keren Hayesod has profoundly impacted Israeli society and transformed the dream of the founding individuals into a reality.
It began with a dream, a vision. Many called it unrealistic. Few believed it could ever happen, but we willed it, and it did. A safe haven for millions of Jews who had no home. An army to defend a nation which knew only persecution. A culture reborn. A land of innovation and creativity to shape the world. World-class scientists, Nobel Prize laureates, a thriving democracy, equal among the community of nations. It took a vision. It took leadership. It took the ultimate sacrifice of too many. It took the steadfast commitment of the people of Israel. And it took our partnership, Keren Hayesod, and you. Together, over the past 7 decades, we brought 3 million Olim home. We gave them the tools to build a new life in their homeland. Together, we have given hope to those in Israel's periphery. We have brought dignity to elderly Holocaust survivors and opportunity to youth at risk.
Without Keren Hayesod, there would have been no state of Israel, plain and simple.
Why? Because together we are here for the people of Israel.
After seeing your impact on the Israeli people, it's no wonder that your work and dedication has received such a recognition. One of the many important pieces of Keren Hayesod's storied history is the dedication of individuals around the world who have made it their mission to support Keren Hayesod and the people of Israel. David Engel is one of those individuals who has been a lifelong leader in the Jewish community. Joining us from Canada is Mr. David Engel.
Thank you for that introduction, Moran. It is great to join you and all the Keren Hayesod supporters around the world for this very special celebration. I was really looking forward to all of us being together in Jerusalem to celebrate
Joining us
100
from
years
Canada
of Keren
is Mr.
Hayesod.
David.
but I am thankful for the amazing technology we have that allows us to still be able to feel a sense of unity and spirit, even when we are located all over the world. As the chairman of the Centennial Committee, I have seen the tremendous amount of work that was done to plan the Centennial World Conference and understand the disappointment felt when we had to change plans due to the current coronavirus. But I want to remind all of you that even though we cannot physically be together, this opportunity is the perfect opportunity to celebrate. To celebrate all that Keren Hayesod has accomplished over the past 100 years and inspire hope in each of us for what we can do together for 100 years to come. It is hard to describe each and everything that makes up this organization. However, in honor of this milestone occasion, we created the concept called 100 Heartbeats, with each beat representing Keren Hayesod's United Israel Appeal's century of spectacular achievements through an array of stories and vignettes that highlight various aspects of the Keren Hayesod experience. Shortly, you will have the opportunity to hear what each of these heartbeats represents. I ask you to join me in remembering these words as they have served as the foundation of this organization. Together, as we look to the future, I ask you to continue to support the people of Israel and to remember that together we are stronger than we are alone. Mazel tov to Keren Hayesod, and thank you all for your continued support. May we all meet in Jerusalem soon.
David, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all that you do for Keren Hayesod and the people of Israel. In a remarkable show of support, 100 people around the world will join together in reciting 100 words that are inspired by the 100 heartbeats of Keren Hayesod and represent the different components that make up this incredible organization. From around the world, here they are.
Establishment.
Eventos históricos.
Hospitals.
Nativ program for Jewish identity.
Survival.
Representantes.
Zer Jabotinsky.
Campaña de emergencia.
Eli Wiesel.
Albert Einstein.
Strengthening the periphery.
Aviation.
Educación superior.
Success.
Border Communities Booklet.
Absorption Centers.
Apoyando a la población del sur.
11 Points Operation.
Operation Michaelberg.
Aliyah from the former Soviet Union.
World Conferences.
Centennial.
Culture.
Meta Project.
Israeli Artist Project.
Aliyah Operation.
Founders.
The Keren Hayesod Calendar.
Dr. Marcus Spiegel.
Connecting children.
Our logo.
Tel Aviv Port. Danny Kaye.
Friends of Israel.
Joining us for this celebration are leading thinkers, advocates, community figures, and celebrities from all around the world. Let's take a look at their special greetings.
Warm greetings from Jerusalem to Keren Hayesod's World Conference. Since your founding in 1920, you've played a key role in strengthening and mobilizing support for the State of Israel. You work tirelessly, endlessly, to connect Jewish communities around the world to Israel. You work to empower new immigrants who come to Israel, and you work to strengthen different communities throughout the land. I take this opportunity to thank you for all that you've done to strengthen our state. The people of Israel appreciate you and thank you.
Mazel tov, Keren Hayesod. For 100 years, you've been changing the face of Israel, and you've been doing a lot of good. Here's for another 100 years. Congratulations on 100 years.
לכל ידידי ופעילי קרן היסוד בכל רחבי תבל, להקים מדינה זה דבר חשוב, אבל להחזיק אותה לבנות אותה ולייסד אותה זה חשוב לא פחות, וכאן אתם נכנסים לתמונה, כל פעילי וידידי קרן היסוד. קרן היסוד היא אבן יסוד בתקומת המדינה, בקיומה, החקלאות, היישובים, הקיבוצים, המושבים, המושבות, החקלאות, וכל הענפים שמאפשרים לעם לבנות ולבנות ולקרות עלייה גדולה. בלי קרן היסוד קשה מאוד לראות את זה. אני מאחל לכולכם המשך פעילות בריא, נחמד, נעים, אחוואי, יחד, שבטי ישראל, שנהיה מאוחדים ומלוכדים, ונראה כולנו יחד בתקומת ישראל בארצו לעד ולעולמי עולמים.
Hello dear friends from Keren Hayesod. I am honored to wish you Mazel Tov on the special occasion of marking 100 years of Keren Hayesod. I can tell you firsthand that the work you are doing is having an incredible impact here in Israel. Your dedication to our homeland and our people is very much appreciated. Congratulations on this milestone, and may you continue on your important mission of supporting Keren Hayesod and the people of Israel. Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov, Keren Hayesod. For 100 years you have been changing the face of Israel and doing so much to help the people of Israel and all of us. Kol hakavod.
What an honor it is to receive such heartfelt greetings and blessings from around the world. Thank you. Toda rabah. Thanks to your dedication, children, youth and adults throughout Israel receive life-altering support from our various programs. Let's take a look at a day in the life of Maor, Renata, and Kalkadan.
היי, מה נשמע?
עוד יום במשרד, בגלל תקופת הקורונה התחלנו לעבוד מהבית, אז אני בעצם בחדר שלי, וזה המשרד שלי. מאור, בן 30, מכפר סבא, במקור אני מכרמיאל, והיום אני עובד ב-NVIDIA בתור Technical Marketing Engineer. למרות שאני מהבית, אני משתדל להתלבש באופן הולם, בדרך כלל אני עובד עם גופייה, אבל היום...
A gente já está aqui no aeroporto e dá uma olhada como está vazio.
Meu nome é Renata Lezeira Vitchami, eu tenho 45 anos, eu sou casada, tenho 3 filhos. Eu trabalhei no Keren Hayesod São Paulo durante 10 anos e há 3 meses eu e a minha família nós fizemos a Aliança do Brasil.
Uma boa viagem para todos nós.
היו, שלום, קוראים לי קלקידן, אני בת 17 וחצי ואני גרה בירושלים. אני לומדת בכפר הנוער רמת הדסה וכרגע אני עולה לכיתה י"ב. הדבר הראשון שעשיתי שקשור לקרן היסוד זה הכיתת נחשים. אנחנו בכניסה לגן הזואולוגי. פה בפעם הראשונה שלי החזקתי נחש וטרנטולה. לפני זה אם הייתם אומרים לי נחש זה כאילו אין, זה הכי סיוט בעולם.
אני נמצא כאן ליד אשכול פיס כפר סבא. במקום הזה הגעתי לפני 12 שנים. בגיל 15 הצטרפתי לתוכנית נטע, שזו תוכנית של קרן היסוד שמעודדת את ילדי הפריפריה להשתלב בתעשיית הייטק. מקום שמסמל את אחת נקודות הדרך שבאמצעותם הגעתי לאן שהגעתי היום, וזה מאוד מאוד מרגש להיות כאן. בזכות תוכנית נטע הגעתי לצבא לתפקיד טכנולוגי. ובעקבות הניסיון שצברתי יכולתי להתחיל לעבוד בתעשיית הייטק בגיל 21, וזה משהו שבאמת שהייתי יכול רק לחלום עליו.
Muito emocionante.
É indescritível a sensação de voltar para casa. Eu e meu marido estamos estudando hebraico no PAC. Nossos 3 filhos estão matriculados em escolas públicas. Eu sempre ouvi que pro Keren Hayesod todos nós somos importantes, mas a nossa família vivenciou isso na prática. Num momento tão conturbado, Israel nos recebeu de coração e braços abertos.
פלח בנגריה, עוד מקום שקרן היסוד תרמו. במסגרת עבודה שעבדתי בכפר, עזרתי פה לילדים יותר צעירים ממני, ובנינו מלא דברים, ואפילו ילדים הכינו פה מתנות לאימהות שלהם. נכנסנו לסדנת סבונים. פה במסגרת היזמות העסקית שלי הייתי מכינה סבונים, והיינו מוכרים את זה אחרי זה בירידים שהיו בכפר.
חוזר עכשיו מהעבודה, תהיה לי קבלת פנים עכשיו של הכלב שלי. אומרים שמי שדואג לימים זורע חיטה, מי שדואג לשנים נוטע עצים, ומי שדואג לדורות מחנך אנשים. אז לכבוד 100 שנים לקרן היסוד, אני רוצה לאחל שהיא תמשיך להשפיע, לחנך, לטפח את הדור הצעיר.
Tem uma frase de Ben-Gurion que diz: o difícil nós fazemos agora, o impossível demora um pouco mais de tempo. Para mim, essa frase representa o trabalho do Keren Hayesod, mas ao Tov Keren Hayesod, pelos seus 100 anos, desejo que siga firme e forte e continue a tornar sonhos em realidade e a transformar a vida de milhares de pessoas.
אני ממש רוצה להגיד לכם תודה, כי אתם לא עוזרים רק לי, אתם עוזרים לעוד מלא ילדים, שדרך המקומות שאתם תורמים להם, הם מגלים את הכישרונות שלהם, וזה ממש לא מובן מאליו מה שאתם עושים, ומזל טוב לחגיגות ה100, תמשיכו מה שאתם עושים. ביי.
Thank you to Maor, Renata, and Kalkedan, who shared a glimpse into their lives. For them, Keren Hayesod is a life-changing organization that affords them the opportunity to thrive in Israeli society. Soon we will meet them again.
Keren Hayesod for me is building the Jewish nation. Keren Hayesod for me is building the state of Israel. Keren Hayesod for me is a huge partner of the Jewish Agency, because Keren Hayesod funding and resources and supporters of Keren Hayesod are part and parcel of the enormous activities of the Jewish Agency for Israel in Aliyah, in Klita, in absorbing Olim, in educating Jews all over the world, connecting them to the love of Israel and Israel to the love of the communities, and of course bringing the voice of the Jewish world to Israeli society and helping citizens of Israel, those who are in need, those who are underprivileged and challenged by our enemies. So thank you, Keren Hayesod, for the great work you've been doing for the past 100 years.
Missions to Israel by global supporters.
Supporting victims of terror.
Celebraciones del Jubileo.
Strategic partner, the Jewish Agency for Israel.
Keren Hayesod Street.
Rabbi endorse.
Banking infrastructure.
Youth Future Project.
John Henry Patterson.
פרויקטים חברתיים.
Stockade and Tower.
דוקטור אברהם יצחק.
British Empire Exhibition.
Dr. Chaim Weizmann.
Israel Valley Communities.
Zionism.
The first announcement.
Mitzpeh Ramon's Young Families.
Bâtiment des institutions nationales.
Dedication.
Global.
Attack on the National Institutions Building.
Documentary films.
המעבר לירושלים.
Global Call Center supporting Aliyah.
Our 6 key values.
15th anniversary celebration.
World leaders express admiration.
Rehabilitación de ciudades desaventajadas.
El libro de Keren Hayesod de 1921.
Opération Moïse et Opération Salomon.
The establishment of Jews in the land of Israel.
Keren Hayesod posters.
The President of Israel, Reuven Rivlin, is one of Keren Hayesod's greatest supporters. As our president said, without Keren Hayesod, there would have been no State of Israel. We're so honored to be hosted by President Rivlin at his official residence in recognition of this milestone celebration.
Mr. President, hi.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you.
שלום לכולם, כבוד הנשיא, כל נציגי ותומכי ותורמי קרן היסוד בעולם. אמנם אנחנו בכנס וירטואלי, אבל אנחנו מרגישים את הרוח והעוצמה בכל רחבי העולם, מהתומכים שלנו. Mr. Stephen Lowy, AM, Chairman, World Board of Trustees, is joining us. Hello, Stephen.
Hello. Thank you, Moran, Mr. President. It was fantastic to have the President in Australia to celebrate the 100 years in Australia of Keren Hayesod, and it was really a wonderful, wonderful time. It's particularly exciting that I see 3 beneficiaries of the programs of Keren Hayesod, and to see how successful you have been and how Keren Hayesod has been able to really support you. And it's our sincere hope at this 100th anniversary that we can only continue to embrace the communities and strengthen the communities of Israel. And it's really a privilege to be doing this with everybody, and I really thank everybody from around the world for being with us tonight, and particularly being in your presence, Mr. President. So thank you very much for having us here.
God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Lowy, for those inspiring words. Thank you very much. Sam was born to a Zionist family. He fulfilled his dream to come to Israel and establish a home here. At the age of 17, he moved here and served as a lone soldier for the Israeli Defense Force. And today, he definitely closes a circle, serving as the world chairman of Keren Hayesod.
Thank you, Moran. It's really inspiring and exciting to be here with the President, being hosted by the President, not just all of us, but also the thousands of Keren Hayesod family members, supporters, donors from around the world right now that are tuning in. And when we think about the achievements that we've been able to accomplish in those 100 years, together with our strategic partner, the Jewish Agency for Israel, in strengthening Israeli society, together we can say thank you and salute those supporters for the work that we've done to have such a profound impact on the state of Israel, on the Jewish people, and on Israeli society, and to be able to look back on the accomplishments of the last 100 years and be energized about the coming 100 years. So thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Sam. כבוד הנשיא, מאור גדל בכרמיאל, מאור התקבל לתוכנית נטע ששינתה את חייו. שלום לך, מאור.
שלום, שלום. אני חושב שאין יום, אין שלב בחיים שאני עובר, שאני לא מרגיש את ההשפעה של התוכנית עליי, את היתרון שצברתי בהשוואה לאנשים אחרים, שלא עברו את התוכניות האלה, ובאמת, אני חושב שזה מדהים. פשוט תמשיכו ככה.
אתה וחבריך הם ההוכחה שצריך להמשיך את התוכניות האלה ולהקפיד עליהם קלה כחמורה ולא לוותר בשום פנים ואופן. אסור להפסיק את המסע הנפלא הזה שאתם עושים.
כמובן שהתקופה המאתגרת הזאת מאפשרת לנו גם לקבל עולים חדשים. I'll speak in English for Renata, that she's עולה חדשה שהגיעה בדיוק בתקופת מגפת הקורונה במרץ. Are you happy to be here, Renata?
Yeah, very happy. I decided to make Aliyah together with my family, and we are here 3 months, and now we're starting a new life, and we are very glad in a so difficult moment to the country. We are accepted here with open arms and hearts. תודה רבה.
תודה רבה לך.
אובריגדה. קלקידן. מה את מרגישה שקרן היסוד והתוכנית הזאת העניקו לך?
בכיתה ט' הגעתי לכפר הנוער רמת הדסה, ומשם כאילו ממש החיים שלי השתנו ברמה הכי קיצונית שיש, וקרן היסוד עזרו לי, ולא רק לי, עוזרת לעוד מלא ילדים בפנימיה שלי שמגלים את הכישרונות שלהם דרך הדברים שקרן היסוד מביאים להם.
תודה רבה. מכובדיי כולם, 100 שנים מאז שהוקמה קרן היסוד, מאז הונחו היסודות לבניין ביתו המחודש של העם היהודי בארצו, בה זכה להקים מדינה שהיא מדינה באופייה יהודית, אבל שווה לכל אזרחיה. יושבים איתנו כאן היום כל מי שיכולים להעיד מגוף ראשון על העשייה החשובה, עשייה בחינוך, בקירוב המרכז לפריפריה, בקידום העלייה, והחשוב מכל, בבניין התקווה הישראלית והשותפות הישראלית כולה. אני מאחל לקרן היסוד שתנופת העשייה שלה תמשיך ותתעצם גם ב100 השנים הבאות. Dearest friends, as I enter my final year as a president, I believe we must strive to build a new dialogue between us. I look forward, Stephen, to working with you to build new bridges of understanding and to give practical expression to our values of mutual responsibility and unity among the entire Jewish family. I would like to take this opportunity and to wish you all a very good, happy New Year from here, from the President House in Jerusalem, the capital of the State of Israel and the capital of all the Jewish people from all around the world. Thank you so very much, and God bless all of you.
תודה רבה.
תודה רבה. Thank you, Mr. President.
What an honor it is to celebrate 100 years of Keren Hayesod with President Rivlin at his official residence.
Hello, I'm David Broza. Having performed across the world in so many communities, having met with so many of the large family of Keren Hayesod and all the different parts of the world, and knowing that as I am here in quarantine, and probably many of you in quarantine, if not everybody, wherever you may be, it warms my heart to know that we still keep in touch, you still care, you contribute, you support, even in these times, in light of the great challenges that stand ahead of us and that we're living through. אני מביט מהחלום וזה עושה לי די עצוב, האביב חלף עבר לו, מי יודע אם ישוב, הליצן היה למלך, הנביא נהיה ליצן, ושכחתי את הדרך, אבל אני עוד כאן, ויהיה טוב, יהיה טוב, כן, לפעמים אני נשבר. אז הלילה, הלילה, איתך אני נשאר. כן, שם למעלה, בשמיים, עננים לומדים לעוף, ואני מביט למעלה, ורואה מטוס חטוף, ממשלה של גנרלים, מחלקת את הנוף, לשלהם ולשלנו, מתי נראה את הסוף? אוי, הנה בא נשיא מצרים, איך שמחתי לקראתו, פירמידות בעיניים ושלום במיטתו, ואמרנו היי בוא נשלימה ונחיה כמו אחים, ואז הוא אמר קדימה עד שתצאו מהשטחים, ויהיה טוב, או יהיה טוב, כן, לפעמים אני נשבר. Keren Hayesod.
100 years! What a phenomenal accomplishment! Thank you for being such a major part of Israel's success story. Mazal Tov.
I want to wish Keren Hayesod a huge congratulations on your centennial year, and I want to thank you for all the ways in which you support the State of Israel. I'm a supporter of the State of Israel, I'm a Zionist, and I'm a huge supporter of Keren Hayesod and all that you do. So on this, your centennial, can I say very warmly, Mazel Tov, or as others might say, Bis 120.
Dear friends, it is a great honor and pleasure to congratulate Keren Hayesod on its 100th anniversary. 100 years of doing so much chesed, so much good for the Jewish people, for Israel. It's something that really deserves a lot of recognition. I've seen how much neshama, how much love, how much care there is in this Jewish organization. I want to thank you for everything you do. In the name of Russian Jewry, I want to really congratulate you on this important milestone, and I hope this is only a beginning. You'll go from strength to strength, you'll go and do even more for Israel, for our brothers, and to make the world a better place, that together we will go and greet Mashiach very soon. Congratulations, Mazal Tov.
קרן היסוד חוגגת 100 שנים, ואנחנו שמחים בשמחתכם. בעצם זה השמחה של כולנו. אז אנחנו מצפים לעוד 100 שנים של עשייה ענפה. מזל טוב, קרן היסוד, ולכם התומכים.
Mazal Tov to all at Keren Hayesod. On this incredible 100th anniversary of your founding, 100 years of extraordinary work. Keren Hayesod has really been essential to the miracles that have happened in our time. The dream of 2,000 years coming true. You've turned successive generations of Jews in Israel and the diaspora into builders of the Jewish future. So all the bad things that happened to the Jewish people this last 100 years remain bad things, but you found a way of taking them and turning them into a rebuilding of the Jewish land, the Jewish state, and the Jewish people. Kol hakavod to you, and may the next 100 years be full of blessing, full of fulfillment, and full of joy.
International Women's Division.
Funding construction throughout Israel.
Emergency campaigns. Masa, Israel Journey.
The Song of the Valley.
100 years of storytelling.
Transparency.
Let another praise you.
Donor recognition.
International Leadership Honor.
Oradores y artistas.
Guardian Rescue Operations.
Micha Feldman.
Leaders and activists.
Banim Bonim.
Amigur, sheltered housing for Israel's elderly.
German Leadership and Partnership.
Alei Project.
Global Family.
Shlomo Hillel.
חיילים בודדים, Lone Immigrant Soldiers.
Soleil Bonnet.
Il progetto dei villaggi per i giovani.
Pre-Army Academies.
Aliyah of Rescue from Morocco.
Friends of Israel.
Arieh Oz.
Water Power Vision.
Land of Promise.
Declaración de la Independencia.
International Young Leadership.
Righteous Gentiles.
March of the Living.
For the people of Israel.
The future.
Wow! How incredibly inspiring it is to see 100 different people from around the globe join together in celebration of Keren Hayesod. To all of you around the world who have joined us for this special broadcast, thank you. It has been a wonderful evening celebrating 100 years of Keren Hayesod together. Here's to another 100 years of making a difference in the lives of the people of Israel. In just 10 minutes from now, Keren Hayesod's first ever crowdfunding campaign will begin. Please join us back right here.
We are all
one family,
one people,
one heart.
We will always be united.
For our families,
for our communities,
and for the people of Israel.
For 100 years,
the Jewish communities
around the world
support the Zionist idea
through Keren Hayesod.
And for the past 72 years,
we have walked with the people of Israel
and the state of Israel
all along the way.
In this time of crisis,
as it has been in the past, our strength as people
is what defines us.
As leaders of Keren Hayesod,
we know that the value of unity
and mutual responsibility
has never been more relevant.
It was there when together
we had to lay
the foundation for the country.
It was there when together
we brought millions of Olim home.
It was there when we worked together
to strengthen Israeli society
and to connect the Jewish world
to Israel and their heritage.
And it is still here
when we celebrate our partnership
and the many great things
that we've achieved together.
In every darkness,
there is a light.
In every storm, a ray of sun.
And during these difficult times,
it is our humanity that shines through.
Entire communities
are helping one another.
People sing together on balconies
to spread joy from one to another.
We, the leaders of Keren Hayesod around the world,
send a message of support
to the communities around the world
that are dealing with this crisis.
And we send a message
of solidarity and celebration
to the people of Israel.
We are all together.
We stand strong.
We are all one heart.
One people, one family.
Juntos somos mais fortes.
Estamos todos.
Insieme ce la faremo.
Samen staan we sterk.
Juntos lo superaremos.
Ensemble, nous réussirons.
We stole samen.
Estamos juntos.
Zusammen sind wir stark.
Estamos juntos. Juntos somos mais fortes.
Together we stand.
On behalf of the supporters and leadership of Keren Hayesod from around the world, a big mazel tov.
To the people of Israel and to all of Am Yisrael, Mazal Tov.
For all of you who are just now joining the broadcast, welcome to Keren Hayesod crowdfunding campaign. For those of you who are with us from the beginning, thank you for continuing with us on this special journey. At this moment, I'm thrilled to launch Keren Hayesod's campaign together with Sam Grenberg, World Chairman of Keren Hayesod. Sam, this is the first time Keren Hayesod has chosen to do a crowdfunding campaign. Why crowdfunding and why now?
As you know, Moran, the world has changed so much lately, and in the area of fundraising as well, we've entered a new era. Keren Hayesod supporters and donors are located all around the world, so it's critically important that we continue to be in touch with them, but that we also continue to give them the opportunity to have the impact and make the change in Israel and Israeli society through their support and through their connection. And this crowdfunding campaign gives the opportunity to do exactly that, to give them the chance to be in touch, to be connected, and to continue to impact Israeli society for the better. For Keren Hayesod's various projects and initiatives, which are done in partnership with the Jewish Agency for Israel, such as our Amigur sheltered housing, assisting new immigrants arriving in Israel, supporting infants and families that are part of our Heartbeats program, and our youth villages, we need the support of all of you, our Keren Hayesod family in Europe, in order to keep these programs running and thriving.
To my Keren Hayesod friends in Europe, now is the time. We need your support for these various projects. Every donation is matched. Together, we can do 100 times more. From spiritual to virtual. The Jewish Agency for Israel is a strategic partner of Keren Hayesod. Together, these two organizations dedicate their work to the well-being of the people of Israel. The Jewish Agency for Israel is a proud supporter of Keren Hayesod's crowdfunding campaign.
Isaac, it's nice to see you here. I wish we were meeting in this beautiful courtyard on a more joyous occasion, but it seems that we have a lot of work ahead of us.
Sam, it's so nice to be with you here. Look around. This is the historic courtyard in the midst of the city of Jerusalem that connects the Keren Hayesod offices right here and the Jewish Agency offices right nearby. This courtyard serves as a national symbol, binding stories of our past to our future, showcasing the strong connection between Israel and the entire Jewish people.
Under normal circumstances, this year would have been a celebratory year in which we honored Keren Hayesod's 100th anniversary. For 100 years, Keren Hayesod has been at the forefront of Israeli society, raising funds and working together with the Jewish Agency for Israel to provide life-saving resources and support for the people of Israel. Isaac, tell me, how is it that these two organizations have survived a century of tribulations, and yet our cooperation is stronger than ever? What holds us together?
Actually, it's a great question. 100 years, and what holds us together is our undivided devotion to the idea of the Jewish state, the state of Israel, together with all the Jewish people. This is what binds us together. Now we should focus our attention on providing aid to the people of Israel who are in need due to the pandemic. The Jewish Agency is here to address the needs of the Jewish people, both in Israel and in the diaspora, but without Keren Hayesod's support, it would be impossible for us to carry out our missions, our initiatives that provide support for the people of Israel. We have 48 hours to raise 2 million euros for the people of Israel.
Thank you for your support.
Keren Hayesod is made up of leaders and supporters from across Europe. Working in different countries, these campaigns are the foundation of this organization, raising money for the people of Israel. While working in different regions of Europe, across various time zones and in different languages, These campaigns stand united in their mission of safeguarding the state of Israel and ensuring that the people of Israel have someone to count on. While the fundraising efforts from the past look drastically different from today, it is really important to understand that at the core of this work is our understanding of mutual responsibility and our need to ensure that our grandchildren and children can grow up in a world in which there is a strong and vibrant state of Israel. As we take a step into this digital era in which our fundraising will take place online, it is important to always remember the mission of Keren Hayesod.
שלום לכם. כשר הבינוי והשיכון יזמתי יחד עם עמיגור, קרן היסוד והסוכנות היהודית את אחד הפרויקטים המוצלחים ביותר במדינת ישראל. אני גאה מאוד שהפרויקטים האלה הולכים ונבנים בכל הארץ, ואני קורא לכם, כל אחד וכל אחת מכם, תנו את הסיוע ואפשרו לנו, לקרן היסוד, לסוכנות היהודית, לעמיגור ולמשרד הבינוי והשיכון וממשלת ישראל להמשיך ולסייע לאזרחים הוותיקים שלנו. בהצלחה.
להיות עולה חדש זה לא דבר קל. אני בעצמי עליתי לארץ בגיל 3 מאתיופיה. אני יודעת שיש הרבה מאוד חסמים. ואני, המשרד שלי והרבה מאוד שותפים כמו קרן היסוד ואחרים פועלים כל העת כדי לדאוג שהעולים החדשים ירגישו כאן בבית מהרגע הראשון. בשביל זה אנחנו צריכים אתכם, התומכים. תמיד הייתם שם כדי לעודד ולחזק ולעשות, וכך יהיה גם בעתיד.
Ich motiviere sehr gerne jeden Einzelnen mitzuhelfen, damit es gelingt, dass diejenigen, die den Holocaust überlebt haben, in Würde leben können und nicht in Not leben müssen. Dazu kann jeder Einzelne, im Sinne von Fritz Bauer, jeder Einzelne kann beitragen, dadurch, dass er spendet. Und deswegen besteht die Möglichkeit, vom 13. bis 15. September diesen Jahres sich an der Spendenaktion zu beteiligen. Machen Sie mit, im Sinne von Fritz Bauer, jeder Einzelne kann seinen wichtigen Beitrag leisten.
Dear friends, many big empires disappeared throughout the years, but yet our small Jewish nation is still here, despite thousands of years of difficulties and dangerous times, continue to illuminate and contribute to the entire world. Among other reasons, it is thanks to the huge solidarity and support Jewish community were always there to support people in need. Please continue the same. I encourage you today to take part of Keren Hayesod campaign. Let's help those who rely on our and your support and make sure that our nation will continue to be strong and a source of light and kindness to the entire society. Thank you.
100 years ago, a group of people sat in a hall in London and dreamt of a different future for the Jewish people. Over the past 100 years, Keren Hayesod has worked to build a strong and flourishing state of Israel, built upon the foundation of mutual responsibility and a love for the Jewish homeland. Join me as we take a look at how Keren Hayesod has profoundly impacted Israeli society and transformed the dream of the founding individuals into a reality.
This is the story of a people who built a nation and a state and made a vision into a reality. It is a story of commitment, determination, and shared values. Of how for 100 years we met every challenge together. And here is where it all began.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
We had to begin by laying the foundation. Electricity, water, villages, towns, cities, transportation, education, hospitals, and culture too. And just look what we have today. Such a wonderful country that we continue to build and strengthen. And we had to bring our people home. Millions of people, from the survivors of the Holocaust to the Jews of the Muslim world, from Jews from the former Soviet Union to the Jews of Ethiopia. We brought them all in clandestine operations, the largest airlift in history. No one was left behind, whatever it took. And we are still here to rescue every Jew and to give a home to all who arrive. It wasn't easy. We had to fight and to sacrifice. Today, too, we still have to defend ourselves. But there was always solidarity between us all. And that made a huge difference. It literally saved lives. Then and now, it is always about the people. We look after one another, we support one another. We are bound by a partnership based on mutual responsibility. Children, young adults, the elderly, the olim. We are there to help those in need and to make sure that our bond is as strong as ever.
But who did all this?
It was, and still is, all of us. The founders of Keren Hayesod, who had the foresight to look into the future. The heroes of Israel. The leadership who work night and day, and all those who support Keren Hayesod all around the world. We all make sure that Israel is strong and our connection is strong and will continue to be. This is my story. It is your story, my child. It is the story of the people of Israel, and it will continue forever.
Whether it is advancing weaker communities, nurturing disadvantaged and marginalized youth, encouraging Aliyah, or assisting in the absorption of the new immigrants to Israel, Keren Hayesod is at the forefront of the Israeli society. I've had the privilege to visit some of Keren Hayesod projects in Israel that, thanks to you, exist and thrive. I was so lucky to meet many of the people who participate in Keren Hayesod's supported project and to hear from them how your support and dedication to this organization has drastically changed their lives. I want to share with you my experience in visiting the residents at Amigur Sheltered Housing and at the Ibim Absorption Center. Here it is. Welcome to Be'er Sheva. Bruchim Habayim. I'm standing here in the capital of Israel's Negev in front of Keren Hayesod supported project, Amigur Sheltered Housing. Before we talk about what's behind me, I want to tell you about what is surrounding me. Be'er Sheva is a hustling and bustling city in the south of Israel, where history meets modern-day Israel. David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister and founding father, said, "Israel's future lies in the southern desert region." I won't get into the biblical significance of Be'er Sheva. I leave that to the historians. But what I will do is let you see for yourselves why this city exemplifies Ben-Gurion's belief that Israel's future is right here. tell us about the significance of where we're standing is our friend Erez Shani, the Vice President for Resource Development at Amigur, a Keren Hayesod supported project.
Hi Moran.
Hi Erez.
Welcome to Amigur home in Be'er Sheva.
Thank you.
Where we are building right now a new building with 111 apartments for elderly. Please come and I'll show you around.
Is this for me?
Yes, this is for safety first.
Safety first. It's going to ruin my look, but
I'm sure that's going to be okay.
So wow, this is an incredible project you're doing.
And what you could see already over here, it's the first floor of a 17-floor building. Every 2 months they're going to finish 2 floors.
I'm so happy that our donors could get to witness what has been built, especially for who it's been built, for the elderly and for Holocaust survivors, the founding fathers of this country that came here and are going to receive a future they deserve and worthy of.
When they're going to receive the key for the apartment, this is a moment that you need to be here and see their tears, see their smile.
And you know what really excites me about this project? That they're not going to be alone.
No.
You know, this home, they're going to have their own privacy in their own home and have the dignity to live for the rest of their lives.
Right. They're going to have also a social club, lectures.
And you feel that there's more demand right now? There's more elderly people that are looking for a safe place to stay in?
Yes, absolutely. In the state of Israel right now, there are 27,000 elderly in a waiting list. So there's a huge
demand,
need, huge demand.
And you know, the most important thing that I see also that Amigur is doing is, in this project, is providing them company and programs.
In Amigur, there isn't loneliness. We're fighting loneliness every day. Without Keren Hayesod, we couldn't have done that by ourselves. So this is an amazing support of Keren Hayesod donors around the world, and we must say thank you to all of them.
I see that you're already emotional because you know them personally, you know the elders, you know your tenants personally.
I know them personally, and you know what? I want to invite you to come and meet some of them.
I would be honored.
Let's go.
From there?
Yes.
Wow, thank you. Not far from Be'er Sheva, new immigrants from Ethiopia are building their lives in Israel. A beam absorption center is a Keren Hayesod supported project that affords them the opportunity to have an easier integration into Israeli society.
באיבים גרות 60 משפחות של עולים מאתיופיה, וזה הבית הראשון שלהם כאן בישראל. הם מגיעים מאתיופיה אחרי המתנה מאוד מאוד ארוכה. יש פה משפחות שחיכו 12 ו-14 ו-20 שנה. המתינו באתיופיה בעצם בתנאים מאוד מאוד קשים בשביל להגיע לארץ ישראל ולהגיע לירושלים. והעבודה שלנו היא בעצם ללמד אותם מההתחלה, מהבסיס בעצם, של איך זה לחיות בבית, עם מים זורמים ועם חשמל, להכין סנדוויצ'ים.
גם ראיתי משהו שמאוד יפה, שאתם בעצם משמרים את התרבות שלהם ואת הערכים שלהם ואת המסורות שלהם. כלומר, הם מתאקלמים, אתם עוזרים להם להתאקלם לתוך החברה הישראלית, אז זה נותן להם תחושה שהם הגיעו לבית אבל לא עזבו את הבית.
בעצם רוב האנשים כאן, לפני שהם עברו לעיר, לגונדר, בשביל לחכות לעלייה, הם באו מהכפר, הם היו חקלאים, הם גידלו לעצמם את האוכל שלהם. אנחנו יכולים לתת להם את האפשרות לכל אחד שתהיה לו חלקת אדמה קטנה, וככה כל משפחה מגדלת לעצמה קצת ירקות, קצת תבלינים.
חבל שאתם לא יכולים להריח את מה שאני מריחה. איזה מדהים. שלום, מה שלומכם? ערב טוב. מה את מכינה? This is all thanks to Keren Hayesod that opened my eyes to the many amazing things that Israelis and Jews around the world keep on doing good things and good deeds. We appreciate it and we're a happier country from that. Thank you. Good night. One of the most pressing issues facing Israel's society is the increase of youth at risk. Keren Hayesod, together with the Jewish Agency for Israel, has built youth villages throughout Israel that provide at-risk youth with a positive, nurturing, and educational environment in which they receive therapeutic services needed to help them thrive in Israeli society. For hundreds of Israeli youth, these youth villages are their lifeline. This is where they can heal from past traumas and overcome obstacles. Ramat Hadassah Youth Village is located southeast of Haifa. Let's take a look at this special place.
הגעתי לרמת הדסה כי היה לי נורא קשה בבית. נולדתי לזוג הורים נרקומנים. ההורים שלי עזבו אותי בגיל שנה כי הם לא יכלו לגדל אותי. וככה עברתי בין ההורים של אמא להורים של אבא. ואמא ברחה. ואז ביום שישי היא החליטה שהיא רוצה לקחת אותי לקניות, לקנות בגדים, וסבתא שלי הביאה לה כסף, והיא לא חזרה. היא לא חזרה לקחת אותי. הגעתי הביתה לבד, והבנתי שאמא שלי לקחה את הכסף וברחה. ומאז לא ראיתי אותה עד גיל 13. לא רציתי שככה תראה אמא שלי. לא דמיינתי אותה ככה. לפני שהגעתי לכאן, הגעתי עם סיוטים. לא ישנתי בלילות. קשה. קשה לגדול ככה. הצוות בשבילי היא משפחה. הם נתנו לי חום, הם נתנו לי בית, הם נתנו לי מקום לגדול בו. המון חיבוקים, המון יחס שלא היה לי בבית. והמדריכים שלי עם אמא ואבא בשבילי. אפילו אתמול קראתי לאורה, המדריכה שלי היא אמא. המשפחה שתהיה לי, תהיה משפחה מדהימה, חמה, שונה מהמשפחה שאני גדלתי בה. תהיה לה עם אמא חזקה, עם המון אומץ, שרוצה להצליח, שמאמינה בהם, שמאמינה בעצמה. אחרי 4 שנים ברמת הדסה, סיימתי י"ב, הגיע הזמן שלי לעזוב. בעוד 8 חודשים אני מסיימת את השירות הצבאי שלי, ואז אני סוגרת בעצם 3 שנים של תרומה לקהילה. היום אני יודעת שיש לי את האפשרות לחלום, לצמוח, להגיע לאנשהו, בזכות אותם כלים שקיבלתי ברמת הדסה, ובזכות תורמי קרן היסוד שמאפשרים לילדים כמוני לחלום ובסופו של דבר גם להגשים.
Thank you for joining me and hearing the stories of those who benefit directly from your support. As some of you may have seen at the end of our virtual centennial broadcast, President Rivlin invited beneficiaries of Keren Hayesod to his residence in honor of this remarkable occasion. Let's take a look at their special meeting.
Mr. President, hi.
A pleasure.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you.
שלום לכולם, כבוד הנשיא, כל נציגי ותומכי ותורמי קרן היסוד בעולם. אמנם אנחנו בכנס וירטואלי, אבל אנחנו מרגישים את הרוח והעוצמה בכל רחבי העולם, מהתומכים שלנו.
Thank you, Moran. Mr. President, I really thank everybody from around the world for being with us tonight, and particularly being in your presence, Mr. President. So thank you very much for having us here.
God bless.
Together we can say thank you and salute those supporters for the work that we've done to have such a profound impact on the state of Israel, on the Jewish people, and on Israeli society, and to be able to look back on the accomplishments of the last 100 years and be energized about the coming 100 years. So thank you.
אני חושב שאין יום, אין שלב בחיים שאני עובר שאני לא מרגיש את ההשפעה של התוכנית עליי, את היתרון שצברתי בהשוואה לאנשים אחרים שלא עברו את התוכניות האלה, ובאמת אני חושב שזה מדהים. פשוט תמשיכו ככה.
אתה וחבריך הם ההוכחה שצריך להמשיך את התוכניות האלה ולהקפיד עליהם קלה כחמורה ולא לוותר בשום פנים ואופן. אסור להפסיק את המסע הנפלא הזה שאתם עושים.
I decided to make Aliyah together with my family, and we are here 3 months, and now we're starting a new life, and we are very glad in a so difficult moment to the country. We are accepted here with open arms and hearts. תודה רבה.
תודה רבה לך.
בכיתה ט' הגעתי לכפר הנוער רמת הדסה, ומשם כאילו ממש החיים שלי השתנו ברמה הכי קיצונית שיש, וקרן היסוד עזרו לי, ולא רק לי, עוזרת לעוד מלא ילדים בפנימיה שלי שמגלים את הכישרונות שלהם דרך הדברים שקרן היסוד מביאים להם.
תודה רבה. יושבים איתנו כאן היום כל מי שיכולים להעיד מגוף ראשון על העשייה החשובה, עשייה בחינוך, בקירוב המרכז לפריפריה, בקידום העלייה, והחשוב מכל, בבניין התקווה הישראלית והשותפות הישראלית כולה. אני מאחל לקרן היסוד שתנופת העשייה שלה תמשיך ותתעצם גם ב100 השנים הבאות.
Thank you to President Rivlin for hosting us for this celebration and for those encouraging words on this special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this journey as we've seen everything Keren Hayesod has accomplished over the past 100 years and what this organization has done to build a strong and resilient state of Israel. Here's a link to make a donation. Every donation makes a difference. Now is your time, dear friends from Europe, all of us, together, for the people of Israel, for the sake of the future. The people of Israel are counting on you. Toda rabah.